All right, here is our turkey family with their baby chickens. Say hi, Sugar. And here's our two baby chickens. By the way, hello. I'm Sherry from Sherry's Plants. And today, I usually don't show my face on the videos, not because, I don't know, I'm trying to hide anything. I'm older, unhealthy, a little overweight, and I generally try and show what I'm doing. So I'm gonna set these items right here. We're gonna get to that in a minute. I always think it's fun to let the animals out, so I am going to walk over to here and let the birds out. And let's watch them go. Woo! So, if you hear me panting in the background here, it is summertime in Florida and it feels like 100 degrees out, even though it's 10 o'clock in the morning. And the plants have gone nuts and wild. Hi, Mr. Captain. He's getting new feathers in. I don't know if you can see how. And yeah, he's still limping, so I'm gonna have to do something to address that. Today, what I wanted to talk about, or at least give people inspiration, right here are my Muscadine grapevines, and I did not trim these last year, so they didn't produce as well as they should have. And we do have, look, so there are spots of grapes in here, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. So ideas on how to homestead. I mean, a lot of people find something that they like and they just start doing that, you know. Me, I struggle with it a little bit. I like everything for a little bit, and then I need to move on to something else. That's just my nature. I can't stay focused on any one thing for very long. But I wanted to give, for instance, the given is the grapes, right? Everybody knows that the grapes are a crop, but people are also selling the leaves. I've seen somebody selling 35 leaves for $30. Well, and on eBay I've seen $10, $15 for, you know, a pound or something of leaves. So, that said, if you take a look around your landscape, like I've got dog kennel all over the place. I hate this stuff. But if you look it up, you can make insect repellent out of it. So I guess what I'm sort of leaning into is, what do you got growing already on your property that's easy to grow, and what kind of products or what kind of thing can you do with them? Now, this grapevine, for instance, you got the grapes. This is actually a very good thing. You've seen the crafts where they make wreaths when you do the trimmings. And what I'm going to do today is gather a few leaves, and I want to make some tea, so I'll have you follow me around for that, and we'll go from there. I think I'm just going to cut off some branches because these leaves are quite small. And I am going to pick a few. I am on a fast. This is my 3rd or 4th day in. fourth day in on a fast, but I have been eating about a couple hundred calories. I'm not doing that for weight. Primarily, I'm doing it for spiritual and health reasons. So, and we do have a, I believe this is a Black Beauty, the red one's mixed in here. So, with that said, let me see if I'm going to be able to cut a few while on tape. Now, in the past, I've always wore, this one looks good because it really has no point on being on the floor right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cut a few branches and then pull the leaves off in the house. Now, they say the young leaves are the most tender, and but the older leaves are more flavorful. I'm just trying to get good looking leaves that look like they don't have bugs or nothing on them. All right, hang on a second. I'm going to clip a few more and get back with you. All right, I'm back, and I wanted to let you know how much I sweat my patootie off just from clipping a few leaves and picking a few grapes. But anyhow, this is sort of the harvest that I got. It wasn't really after the grapes, it was more after the leaves, and this is what I came up with, just so you know. I'm going to take those in the house now. Okay, so I'm back in the kitchen, and hoping I'm getting a good angle on this. I am cleaning up what I brought in. I'm taking the stems off of the grapes. Now, the grapes aren't something that you have to do or anything like that, and I'm not doing anything by a given recipe. And so now there's so many things that are edible in your yard that you may not realize, and don't pay attention to my kitchen. You know, that was one thing I was going to talk about. If you're homesteading and looking to do your own YouTube channel or whatever, don't wait until things are perfect. I mean, I keep saying, well, I'm not going to do that video because my kitchen's a wreck. Well, that's the way it is. We don't have the fanciest kitchen. We have lots of animals, and we store lots of items, foods, and so it's a little cluttery and often not, it has a messy look about it, even though it really isn't. So I just was sort of thinking that maybe, you know, my gift to the YouTube kingdom is wisdom because of my age. I know a lot of young people, and I'm so happy for that, are starting out doing homesteading, and I'm so glad to see that. I have not been grown up with it, but some wisdom is maybe the wisdom of things that used to keep you from doing things, those thoughts that come in your mind, like, how do I look? I don't sound right. My kitchen don't look right. People are going to judge me. This person isn't going to like it. This person's going to say this or that. Well, let me tell you something. People don't always want you to succeed, and I'm not saying that to be bitter about people and stuff, but they feel like misery needs company. So if they can tell you something to keep you like them, then that's what they'll do, you know, and they don't mean it with any kind of hostility. But I believe that that's just how things are. I sat down for a minute because I was so hot. That looks a little wilty. I'm going to get rid of that. But anyhow, some things that you can use. Muscadine Grape Leaves for is you can use them any place you use cabbage to wrap, like a roll, like a egg roll or a cabbage roll. And also I've been told it can be used to replace Swiss chard. I've heard that it needs to be steamed and blanched for like 15 minutes. Now these grape leaves are not huge, so I don't know if wrapping stuff is going to be the greatest experience with these. But you can also sneak them in salads, just a little extra something something. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the leaves and I'm going to make a fresh tea. I'll have you follow me around with that until I'm done. And like I said, I've never done this, so I'm just doing it with you. And I decided to leave out or include a couple of grapes. I was just gonna smush them in there for a little extra flavor, a little sweetness. I am on a fast, and that's part of the reason I chose this subject matter. So I'm probably gonna make other teas here soon. And yes, that is a fly thing here in my window. As I said, we're more practical than vanity here. So everything is done for our practicality more than how it looks. And I've always wanted to do, instead of, you know, upgrading our kitchen down the road, I sort of want to do an outdoor type kitchen and have smokers and big pots and things out there to do things with harvests. Anyhow, so back on to muscadine grapes. The other thing you can do with the actual grapes themselves is you can make jelly, you can eat them fresh, you can make wine. Now, these ones here, I was going to show you. These ones here are the Triumph muscadines, and they're a gold color. And these here are the I think it's Supreme, Black Supreme or something like that. And all actuality, these ones, even though they're not as pretty, they also have the nickname of Scooper Dogs or Scupper Dogs. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it. It's sort of like tomato and tomato. But so those are what these are. And I'm pretty sure you can do the same thing with regular grapevine leaves. Now, grapevine leaves, from what I understand, every part of the grapevine is poisonous to dogs. Now, we have a dog, and my dog has no desire to eat grapevines. He has a large roaming area, and I think a lot of times people get carried away with the idea of things being poisonous. I mean, if your dog is not enclosed in an area with strictly poisonous plants, I really don't think that in most cases that's going to be a problem. But just so you know, that if you do have a pet and you're bringing in something like this, that there's potential with that. So I am going to get with this for a second. I'm going to shut you off and come right back when I start, when I get all these clipped up and we're ready to rinse. Okay, hang on. Hi, I'm back. So here are all the leaves, and I'm gonna go ahead and rinse them. Now, you might, I have a salad spinner that would probably be good for this, but another thing that some people like to do is they use, I got a little vinegar and water to make sure there's no bugs or whatever. I'm not terribly afraid of little tiny insects. So I'm just going to give it a good rinse and call it done. Alright, this is fun. So, and this is what I mean, this is the leftovers right here, and you could take grapevine, you can make like little, if you're a crafty person, you can sit here and make like a little reef or something of that nature. They dry up, but grapevines are used for reefs. I've seen deers and all sorts of things made out of them. It's just trying to open up the thought process of having multiple uses for your plants. So over here, I'm just going to lay out a few leaves to dry. And I'm just going to go stick them in a room. You could bake these in theory. I believe it's like at 150 degrees until whenever they dry out. But I'm just going to put these here, and then I'm going to take them in a spare room and let them dry. I'm not sure if my camera's getting this correctly. Sorry about that, folks. So yeah, just getting back to my thought process, you know, don't let people tell you can't do stuff. Do whatever it is that your heart desires. God gave you that desire in your heart. If you like singing, sing. If you like writing, write. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't do those things. Anyhow, so once I am done with this, I am going to get out a pot and cook the green leaves and do a green leaf tea. And I'm not exactly sure. I know you're always supposed to dry leaves for a tea, but I don't know why. So I'm sort of investigating here to find a difference, or if there is a difference. Now that one there would make an awesome something to wrap something in, and mine are a little buggy or a little not perfect, but I can imagine when you're getting tea that's been dried, I imagine that leaves are not perfect in every way when they're commercially produced, so keep that in mind too. And so, like I said, I'm just going to sit this on a bed in a spare room where animals can't get to it, and put a little cover over it for 2 or 3 days, and it should be dry. So I'm gonna go do that, and I'm gonna get a pot, and then we're just going to boil all of these in a pot, and I'm gonna say for a while. I want to taste it. I mean, and that's just me. I'm probably gonna boil these for like 20 minutes and see what the tea tastes like, and I'll be back in a minute to show you that. Alright, so this is what my pot looks like. No, it looks kind of, it has that feel of, I don't know, Italian. Anyhow, so I'm going to go ahead and fill that with water. And Let's just see how far I fill that up. I'm probably going to put about 3 or 4 of these in there. That's just, and then I'm going to boil for like 20 minutes. I'm just thinking that that would be a good way to get all the flavors out. And I've got this here because I plan on straining it at some point. Not sure how I'm going to do that yet. So I'm thinking I should like crush the grapes to make their flavors come out. I don't know. Now I seen there was a YouTube video where a lady made this tea the same way actually, but what she added sugar, and I'm doing a fast, so I don't want to add sugar even though the grapes are somewhat sugary. So there we go, and I am going to get that boiling and let it go for 20 minutes, and I'll get back to you after that. Okay, so I'm back. So I let this cook for 20 minutes, and I think it could have gone just for 10 minutes. You see all the leaves have turned a different shade of green there. We done boiled the life out of them, which I guess that's what our tea is. So I'm just gonna drain this off over here. So I went through and I popped the grapes like I was popping plastic bubbles or something, because I just thought I would be able to get the flavor in this stew a little bit better. So that's how I did that. But I just literally popped them, and the skin separated from the grapes or whatever, but I imagine some of that flavor is in there. I'm gonna set this aside, and got this jar. Hang on a second. So you could strain this through cheesecloth or whatever if you want to be more exact. It's got beautiful color, I'll tell you that. I'm just shaking it out. So what I'm probably gonna do is use movie magic. I'm going to put this in this jar right here, and I'm gonna let it come down to room temperature. Then I'm gonna put it in the fridge, and then I'm gonna take a taste test and let you know what it tastes like. So there was something I was thinking about while I was letting this cook, and I wanted to let you know also that muscadine grape leaves can be used to put in your pickle jars when you're canning pickles in order to help the pickles stay crisp. So I don't know if that's no wise tale, if it's true or not, but some people buy grapevine leaves for that purpose. Anyhow, I wanted to show you the beautiful color. And that looks like a strong tea, and that's what I was hoping for. So I will let this cool on the counter, and then I will refrigerate it, and at some point I will let you know what it tastes like. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out in the kitchen with me and going out and picking these muscadine grapevines, and hope to see you again real soon. Bye. Okay, so after one day of sitting in the room, they were still like a little bendy. So I left them back there for 2 days, and they're extremely crunchy now. And so I'm just going to crunch them up a little bit. and put them in and start them up, and I'm going to cook them for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to brew a tea. I'm going to let it cool, and then we're going to do a taste test between the fresh tea and the leaf tea here. Now, I did go out and get about the same amount of grapes to add to it. So, we'll be doing that. And just wanted to let you know, or let you see how this came out and how long it took me to dry it and what I'm doing with it. And that's pretty much it. I suppose the more you break it up, the more of the goodness will come out. But I'm just curious if there's any difference between dried and fresh tea. Now, I know the thing about dried tea is that it is very storable. Like, you could store it for a long time and drink it in the winter time when grapevines aren't available. So, I mean, that is the advantage of having a dried... Oops, sorry, wrong light. There we go. So, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'll get back to you later with a taste test, and we'll finish this video. Okay, so, we are ending... I'm going to make sure I have this correct. Okay, yes, we are recording. Alright, so this is what I ended up with. This right here is the dried leaf tea, and this is the green leaf tea. And you can see there is a color difference, and I treated them both in the same exact way. And I wanted to do a taste test. I didn't, you can see the hillbilly in me. I didn't have two matching clear glasses here. So, once they're in the glass, you really can't tell the difference. Now, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. There is like no flavor in this. I mean, it is not strong at all. And you could tell that there is some sort of food in there because of the coloring of it. You know, the tannins came out. Let me try this one. Same thing. There's just a slight bit of like a gelatin feel to it, like a little bit of thickness, but that could have been because I put the grapes in. Now, Muscadine grapes don't have a strong flavor. With this said, next time I do a natural batch, I will add more leaves and cook it more a longer time. Keep in mind, anybody with allergies should test their skin before ingesting anything to make sure there's not an allergic reaction. And so that is how that test came out. In all honesty, what I'll probably do with these two teas is brew some Lipton tea and use this for the water. But with that said, the reason why you drink these sort of teas are not necessarily because of flavor. And this is why it's probably not a popular tea. But people also drink it for medicinal purposes. It's supposed to be anti-cancer and anti-inflammatory. So this is just my experience, and you know, I don't know. Kind of a bummer, but that's just how it is. So I would maybe add grape leaves to an already existing tea or something like that. But, so have you tried any wild teas, and what was the flavor? Did they have any flavor? Do you have any suggestions for me on this topic? It was great having you along, and I encourage you to do all the things that your heart desires, and let me know what those are. I am willing to be your cheerleader, and have a fantastic day. Bye.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin.